On this week's edition of Gear Live's Bleeding Edge, we talk about YouTube,
MoRU,
and we show you how to make custom Xbox 360 faceplates for yourself. You look weird.
yeah, and I'm getting data.
All that and more on this week's edition of Gear Live's Bleeding Edge.
Gear Live's Bleeding Edge is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. If you want to make an impact online, GoDaddy has what you need. .com names as low as $1.99, website builders, blogs, email, and more. Plus, enter code GEAR1, that's G-E-A-R, and the number 1 during checkout and save an additional 10% on any order. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Gear Live's Bleeding Edge. I'm Andrew Edwards.
And I'm Sparky.
We're here to bring you more tech news through the eyes of GearLive.com. So let's jump into the latest news of this week.
So this week, or quite recently, YouTube just made some pretty big announcements. Today?
That was today.
But our audience won't see this today.
True.
So, a while back, just so everybody's clear, YouTube made a huge announcement, well not too big, but they made the announcement that for their free subscribers, they're going to cap video upload length to 10 minutes. Now, this actually kind of makes sense because they started looking at all of their videos that were longer than 10 minutes and discovered that like 95% of them were other people's copyrighted material. So it's people like uploading, you know, whatever show and stuff. So
Family Guy.
Don't get me wrong,
Simpsons.
I like it when I can go to YouTube and check out the Family Guy and Simpsons, but I can understand how like Matt Groening and Fox might have a problem with that. So it's a good solution. It works. The only problem is that now if like we wanted to put ourselves on YouTube, we're longer than 10 minutes.
Right.
So we actually have to create, I forget what they call it. I think they call it premium account and pay money to do this.
Do you happen to know how much that is?
We will find out how much it is, and we'll tell you, the viewers, at some point in the future, or maybe we won't.
In the show notes.
Well, it'll just have a little caption underneath.
There you go.
It costs
that
this much.
Okay. So yeah, I thought that was, I applaud YouTube for doing that, for taking that move, because, again, while I don't mind going there and watching full-length movies, I'm sure that they could get shut down for things like that, so they are taking steps to prevent that. But what stops me from just cutting The Simpsons into 2-3 10-minute segments and uploading that? People are going to do that.
People
you
are
know
going
they're
to
do it.
But it's more difficult, and the beauty of YouTube is you can just search for something. So now rather than searching for The Simpsons, they'd have to search for The Simpsons Part 1, 2, it's too complicated.
Okay.
It'll curb the problem, if not stop it.
Fair enough.
Alright, so what else we got?
Other bit of news, there's been a lot of controversy lately. People have been suing Apple because...
Wait, what's that?
People have been suing Apple for hearing loss. Yeah, for the iPod. So, earlier today, again, which may not be your today, but...
It's our today, and we're special because of that.
Apple released an iPod update for the Nano and the 5G iPod with video capabilities that incorporates a volume limiter. So, if we want to take a look here, I'll show you how it works. Basically, you go into Settings, and it adds a new menu item called Volume Limit. And so when you go into volume limit, it says select the new maximum volume and press the center button. So say I go 75% up the way, hit the center button. Now I have to set a combination, like a PIN code.
So in other words, a parent could use this to prevent their kids from like blasting their hearing.
Exactly. And then the iPod will never go above whatever you set that limit to be. The other thing is I can set that limit, and then if my son gets a hold of my iPod, he can't turn it all the way up, so that next time I put it on, like, it destroys my earlobes. Both. Wait, not eardrum. Eardrum.
There you go.
There you
There you go.
Earlobes, earbuds, whatever. So
I want music so loud my earlobes explode. That's just, I'm one of those rockin' kids. What can I say?
So anyway, I don't know how many people are going to take advantage of that feature. Like, what parent is going to, first of all, know about the update? Although Apple did do a press release, but
what parents reading Apple press releases?
Yeah, what parent's going to go update their kid's iPod and set a pin on their Like I don't get it.
I-
Plus, what if I just reformat my iPod? Like my
It's
parent puts a
gone.
pin on there, I reformat my iPod.
See, but the thing is, I don't think Apple did this really because they expect a lot of people to use it. They did it because I know, particularly in France, there was a bunch of lawsuits about the hearing loss, and in the United States, there have been rumblings about lawsuits resulting from hearing loss.
Right.
So this is just their way of saying, fine, nip it in the bud. You can't sue us because we've given you an option.
Right.
We've given you a solution.
If you don't take advantage of it, it's not our fault, but we've given you the power.
Excellent.
All right.
What else do we have to talk about today?
We went to the Seattle Sony Style store grand opening. They actually called us up, asked us if we wanted to come down, get in a little early. So we went in, we talked with Dennis Syracuse, who basically is the VP of all the Sony Style stores across the country.
You didn't invite me though. I'm a little hurt.
I didn't invite you because I knew you'd be at work, and I didn't want you to have to feel torn between making money and going to Sony, which I didn't think you'd be too excited about anyway.
All right, well, let's take a look at the video so
So
at least
check this out.
I can see for now.
Yes, Sony Style. We are here live at the Sony Style store here in Seattle, Washington. The store's going to open today in just about an
45
hour or
minutes,
so.
right?
Yeah, and so we're going to get a quick run through of the Sony Style experience here in Seattle.
This store has been designed in order to really communicate to consumers that Sony is an entertainment business. So not only do we have our consumer electronic products, but we have all of our software. We feature artists from Sony Music, as well as Sony BMG Music, as well as all of our pictures and all of our various sister companies. You'll see Sony Ericsson is featured with its latest models in phones that we feature at the front of our store, as well as this is our newest product for navigation coming out, NavView, which will actually be hitting the country on Tuesday in stores. And actually we have it here for you to demonstrate and to play with. It's a phenomenal piece. You can actually take it with you and take it out of the car with you as you travel through a city and help you navigate as you walk around and try to find various points. The other thing that we've really tried to communicate in this environment is a very lifestyle environment to demystify technology. That's the real key that we're trying to do here, is get you to touch and play with product as opposed to be overwhelmed by technology, but to see the benefit of it and how it can help you enhance your life. So these are the two SXRD models, the 50 and the 60 inch. They're the best technology. They're phenomenal TVs with great definition.
Cool. Now, how bleeding edge are the stores as far as products? Like, when will we see Blu-ray players in here playing content?
We'll be launching Blu-ray. We'll actually be having Blu-ray by the summer, probably even a little bit before, just as a demonstration.
Right.
But then we'll actually be selling some titles because some other manufacturers are coming out with a Blu-ray machine before ours comes out. But we'll be selling titles and we'll be showing the experience on a loop as well as a full movie.
Perfect. So is that something we can expect in the future, that new Sony products would be featured in the stores before they're even available, just so people can demo them?
In some cases, yes, we're doing some launch product early, particularly complex product that needs a lot of education and training. The XL1, which you might be familiar with, we were very successful in launching it in the stores and teaching people how to use it, and have had great success with the product. And we're awaiting the launch of XL2.
Perfect.
So it really depends on the product line, but again, because people come to us for education and the experience, we do really well with brand new product that's coming out.
Yes, I can imagine how crowded, if you guys did this, if you put out a PS3, you know.
We actually launched PSP in our New York store.
Oh, really?
When it launched. I want to think it was March 24th. Yes, you were at the launch party, and it was in our Sony Style store in New York. And then, of course, on the 24th, that day, we had PSP in all of our stores.
Right.
And so we actually opened stores. So it's almost a year. I don't know what the date is. It's almost a year. It's almost
been
a
a
year.
success.
Exactly. This is our Bravia room. So we actually show you the options of how you might want to use it. Mounted over a fireplace, mounted on a wall, on a stand, and then allows you, these chairs allow you to recreate the distance in your own house. So if you have a big room, this is what you'll be looking at. If it's a smaller room, you move up, and of course there's lights here as well that can dim and brighten, so it can duplicate the experience in your own house.
Very interactive.
Yeah, very interactive, and people love to sit here and figure it out. And you see them talking constantly like, oh my God, that's what it looks like, I don't know if I want it. And that's really what this is all about, experiencing how it would be in your own.
Yeah, which is actually unique for a consumer electronics store. Usually, it's just no chairs, a bunch of TVs, bright lights,
Yep.
contrast turned all the way up,
Yep.
and when you bring it home, it's totally different. So Sony gives you the option. Now, what kind of training do the employees go through here? Because it seems like everything in the store, you keep going back to, like, people can help you, people can train you and teach you things. When someone gets hired to work here, especially as someone that's going to lead a seminar, what kind of training do they go through?
How do I answer this? Let me see. We have a program called Cyber Scholar that Sony subscribes to, and all of our associates have to go through those programs on a monthly basis to be up to date on all the specs. However, what we additionally do is we have a DI, a digital imaging expert in the store, a bio expert, a TV expert, who sit on conference calls twice a month that go through what the changes are in new products, and they're responsible for sharing that information back to the rest of the staff. And the purpose is not so much just the specs, but to take the specs and turn them into benefits. So we really feature, we talk about the features, but we really translate them into benefits. Particularly since this store was designed to do entertainment and to be education, it also wanted to impact women and families. So you really have to explain technology and the benefits of technology to that customer base for them to understand the product and to see the value of it. And men do as well, but women are much more demanding than men.
Yeah.
So from that experience basis, you really have to have your P's and Q's together. We have a world-class service program that we use. That some of it, we even took pieces from various training programs that I've been in over the years and my team was in over the years. And whatever program we created at Sony, at Sony Style, we always made sure that women were involved in the process. So it was always both aspects of the customer experience that were involved in the design of the store, the layout, and all training programs. So in fact, we've got the best possible product.
Awesome. And then let me ask you, you oversee all the Sony Style stores across the country. What's your favorite thing about the stores?
The favorite thing about the stores for me is seeing customers in it and experience the wow.
Okay.
They walk in and they go, oh my God, this is so easy to use, and oh my God, I love this, and show me how to use this, and the interaction of people playing with our product, people standing in front of a video and watching El Divo or Jennifer Lopez and enjoying the sound and the sight and the content, all of it together, and they just walk away with a big smile. To me, that's the benefit. That's the best thing I like about the stores.
And what is Sony Style, if you were to put that into words?
Sony Style is a global sub-brand. That's wherever Sony reaches the consumer directly. It is actually a brand that we have criteria that we have to meet in order to qualify to call ourselves Sony Style. So in fact, anytime Sony is reaching the customer, we have a program that you have to follow in order to qualify for that terminology. It's the full experience of Sony. Right. It is all of the Sony family, from Sony Ericsson affiliates to Sony Music and Sony BMG Music and Sony Television, as well as our product with a heavy emphasis on customer service and education. I know that's not soundbitey, but it's the best I can do.
No, perfect. Thank you. This was Dennis Syracuse at Sony Style here in Seattle. We'll be back soon. So yeah, thanks a lot to Dennis for walking us around Sony Style store, and I actually was pretty impressed. I thought it was cool that they set up like areas similar to how you set them up in your home.
Yeah, it gives you context.
Right, so you can turn off the lights, you can turn down the lights, you can basically play with anything or have someone come over and show you how things work. So it's not like a typical Circuit City where you have like an 18-year-old who knows nothing about any of the products trying to sell you a digital camera that you know everything about. So yeah, good stuff. Thanks a lot, Sony. Okay. Just this week, Nyko released their Xbox 360 faceplate maker, and we actually had a chance to talk with Nyko, and they showed off the product a little bit to us, so take a look at this video.
We're talking to Chris Arbogast from Nyko Technologies about the customizable Xbox faceplates. He's going to tell us what they're all about.
This is the Game Face 360 for the Xbox 360 console. Essentially, it is a base plate, and a clear polycarbonate faceplate cover. And this unit ships with 16 blank template designs like this, and also 4 pre-printed, or 6 pre-printed designs. Pre-printed. So the way this works is you run this through your printer, and it comes with software that allows you to drop in over 100 different images, rotate, play with visual filters, as well as you'll customize your own photos.
So you don't have to be like a Photoshop wizard to do this.
Right, you can use all the different enhancement features built into the software.
Very cool.
You just get a new template. Once it's printed, run through any home digital like inkjet printer.
Yeah.
It's just a standard 8.5 by 14 inch sheet. You just push your template in there, and you just press it in the front. You clip it on just like that. Put it on the front of your Xbox 360.
Actually look pretty nice. What's availability and cost like?
This will be available in March.
Okay.
And will retail for $19.99.
And in all retail channels, or where can I get it?
Yeah, it should be in any place that carries gaming accessories. Xbox 360 and iPod should carry this as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, I've just got one thing to say about that product. I want one. I don't even have an Xbox 360, and I want one.
Wait, so you just want to like buy a $19.99 product and just hang a faceplate on your wall?
Well, not quite, but I mean, like, I'm really into design and graphics, and I can really see a large percentage of the population actually wanting something where they can go in and make their own faceplate rather than having to select from, walk into Best Buy or wherever, and there's 20, pick one.
Yeah.
You know, being able to say, I want my kids on it, or I'm really passionate about, flames, I want my flaming one, or
Really
whatever.
passionate about flames.
I've got passions.
And flames, obviously. So I actually think it's a cool idea. Also, my one negative is that the underside of the faceplate fits on like a normal faceplate would, but the top kind of it's really minimal, but it like overlaps. So you know what I mean? It's a bit larger than your faceplate should be. Plus, it's paper, so.
But you got but you got the paper underneath, but you got that plastic overlay. So
Yeah.
long as you get it in there properly, it looks like it's pretty protected.
Yeah.
Dishwasher safe, as they like to say in the biz.
Yes, we'll see if we can get a review unit and kind of give it a run through on our own.
Perfect. And also in Xbox news,
What would that be?
I just realized I know nothing about the next segment.
So up next we have a look at some software, open source.
No, it's not open source.
Okay, but it's for the Mac. You know a lot about it. You've been a big fan. So go ahead, jump in.
All right, so it's this piece of software called MoRU, which stands for Most Recently Used, and it is kind of an extension on top of Spotlight. What it does is it adds functionality to Spotlight and lets you make smart folders and really have a lot more control over your search experience. So it's kind of hard to explain, so let's kind of whip it out and show you.
Show me.
So what MoRU does is it lets you show folders. Like I have a desktop folder, and this just shows the information that's on my desktop. Now I could also go look here, but whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. Now what's more useful is, for instance, a list of open files. So this is a list of the 50 most recent files I've opened on my Mac in the last 7 days in the order I've opened them in. So it's really useful for if you're like that file that I just closed, I've been working on it, go work on some other stuff, I need to go back into that. You can see a list of everything you've been working on. You can do the same thing for saying files I've modified, like something I've saved, or the 50 most recent applications I've used, what order have I used them in. Now, to show you how controllable this is, I'm going to make a new smart group. So let's click on new, and let's say we want to see a list of all of the music I've listened to recently. So we'd call it My Music, and say I want to see the 50 most recent tracks that have been opened. So 50 most recently opened. You can specify any location, so I could go other and say, where exactly I want it to be located. In this case, we're going to say music in my iTunes library.
Okay.
And then we're not going to specify some search text. Now, if I was searching for something like, let's say I wanted
Madonna.
Madonna would work. I don't think actually I do have some.
I'm sure you do.
I have some Madonna. So let's put Madonna in there and then type any item and click OK. And so it's going to create a list called My Music. And well, So it turns out I have a folder
gives you a
called
folder,
Madonna,
okay.
but I don't actually have any files in that folder.
Okay.
So that's
So let's-
that's not a good example. So let's take that out and just say all my music that I've listened to in what order. And so what it's going to do is it's going to search through and it's going to say I've got 3,137 files, but these are the ones I've listened to. This is the order I've listened to them in. I can go through and see and say, hey, I want to listen to, you know, whatever that track was. Readers at home, this is not a, you know. And so, like, there's my music. It's up, it's quick.
Is that a song called Peeing Yellok?
Yes, it is.
Peeing Yellok by 30 Days.
30 Days is a really cool collaborative music project. Everybody should check it out. We'll put a link in our show notes.
Will we? Okay.
We will.
Enjoy.
It's that cool.
Peeing Yellok.
But it's really useful. So you can also say, because you can specify like all sorts of metadata for the file, like how big is the file, how recently have you used it, has a certain user modified or opened that file. So when I was going through, I wanted to find big files on my system that might be taking up space. Like, you know how you have those really big videos or audio files that you've forgotten you have and they're taking up like gig after gig.
Right.
So I set up a search that was pretty simple. Show me the 250 most recently modified files on my computer that size is greater than 25 megs. And it lets you really quickly go in. It'll take just a moment to run this the first time, but once it's run this search, it'll keep it live updated. And it'll just show me a list of all of the files on my system that are bigger than 25 megs.
Okay.
Obviously, if I had one of these, you know, fancy Intel Core Duo machines, this would run a lot faster. This is kind of a limitation more of Spotlight than anything else.
Okay.
But here are all of the files on my computer that are that big. MoRU, it's really good. If you use a Mac, if you like Spotlight but wish it could do more, check it out. It's got a free 30-day trial and a license for life, which will include all 1.0 versions, and he's rapidly adding new features to it, is $10. So worth it.
Okay. And it does not, it looks like it's its own program, so it stays in the dock and everything. It's not
Correct.
It's not a menu item.
No, it's not a menu item, and it's functionality on top of Spotlight. So he's taken things that Spotlight can do and just made them more useful. So you can save searches as folders and keep them. And what's great is, since now that I've loaded this, for instance, this search, which is files larger than 25 megs, if a new file appears on my system that's larger than 25 megs, it'll just appear in that list immediately.
Nice.
So it's live updating. I mean, Spotlight, if it had a save your search results as a folder feature, that would be the biggest thing I would be looking for. Here it is.
Here it is, MoRU. Very cool. Up next, Sparky, have you heard of Sonos before?
Yes, I have. Sonos, amazing. I wish I could afford a Sonos system.
Yes, it is pretty expensive. Very expensive, actually. So anyway.
But cool.
No, it's awesome, and we're actually going to show a video that we shot. We interviewed John McFarlane of Sonos, and he kind of gave us a run-through of the product line and also the new P80 version of their player, which basically all Sonos models have had amps in them, and they released a new model that's cheaper that doesn't have an amp, so if you have a receiver,
So you can hook it up to like either self-powered speakers or your home entertainment system.
Exactly.
That's very cool.
So it's awesome. So take a look at this.
Andrew Edwards here from Gear Live. We are at the Sonos booth at Digital Experience, and we are looking to speak with John McFarlane. John, kind of tell us about what Sonos is.
Well, Sonos is, if you'll think of an iPod as replacing a Walkman, Sonos is really working on bringing the digital music into your home.
Okay.
So what we do is bring digital music to as many places in your home as you would like to listen to it, and then control it all from the palm of your hand. So this is the unit which lets you choose where you're listening to the music, and in this example we're listening to the same thing in all three zones of the house. Home theater zone, a master bedroom, and an office.
Okay.
And then we can choose what we're listening to over here with music, and we can listen to our music library from home, which can include Audible spoken books.
Okay.
Rhapsody is the Real Network streaming service, which gives you access to about 1.5 million tracks for about $10 a month. all stream through the Sonos system to any room you like or link together. You can put playlists together. You can do internet radio, for example, if you're a fan of the various internet radio sites.
Right.
Also, every Sonos unit has audio input in the back. So, for example, if you're a big fan of football and you wanted to listen to the Rose Bowl Rose Bowl game tonight through your house, plug it into the back and you can stream it through your whole house. All the zones are acoustically synchronized, so you don't hear an echo through the house. And everybody in the house won't have any difficulty controlling it.
So as far as the zones,
Yeah.
can you have different zones playing different music?
That's right. Pardon me. They can all play the same thing. They can play all separate things, any combination in between.
Okay. And you launched a new product just a couple days ago. Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, there's 2 rooms. The first product we came out with had an integrated amplifier. The product we just launched, which is this one right here, CP80. And it's designed for 2 different rooms in your house. The home theater room, where you're going to plug it into your home theater receiver, or the room with your computer and powered speakers. And there's 2 roles there. You want to be able to stream music from your home computer throughout the house, and Sonos can uniquely do that, as well as play music from the Sonos system in your home PC area. The home theater use of a Sonos home player is to integrate in with any existing system you might have in your house, a Bose Wave radio, your home theater receiver, or whatever you have.
Okay. And as far as the price of the new model, how much is that?
That's $350 for that model. It's $400 for a controller and $500 for the model with the amplifier.
Okay. And
all are wirelessly interconnected.
And as far as music formats, what formats can it transmit around?
Quite a few. MP3, Windows Media formats, a variety of the lossless formats that are out there, and we just added Apple lossless as well.
Very cool.
So yeah, we're back, and what is that?
That was so All right.
Okay. Apparently peanut butter jelly time.
Okay, we can restart this whole segment just as soon as I've managed to put my...
No, we're gonna keep this rolling. Actually, we're not cutting this out.
Oh, we're so...
And we're not putting this at
Wait,
the
that's
end.
not my phone.
Whose phone is ringing?
I think that's something behind me upstairs.
That wasn't my phone the second time,
Okay,
just
anyway.
for everyone's reference.
Yeah, don't cut that. This is like, just leave this in because that was funny. Because of your reaction to your phone and the peanut butter and jelly.
Just so everyone knows, it is peanut butter and jelly time.
Awesome. So, we just watched the Sonos video. What did you think?
I think it's cool. I, again, want one.
Yeah. What is going on?
I just put that on silent. Apparently not so
Okay,
well.
so is that done now? Or?
I hope so.
Okay. Thank you, John, at Sonos, for taking the time to show us the product line.
The peanut butter jelly time to show us your product line.
Okay, and Sonos.com if you want to check out the rest of the products. They are expensive, but it is awesome to have a Sonos.
Sometimes things that are expensive are worth it.
I think so. We have the Make My Day giveaway last week. Jesse and Nate kind of told us about their online movie release.
Which is pretty exciting, actually. I know a lot of people who have checked that out and gotten really excited about it.
Including me. So let me pull up the winners list here, kind of like we did last week. Okay, so we have 2 winners, the first of which... First guy's name is Poopsicle Boy.
Are
Okay.
you sure you didn't mispronounce that and it's actually popsicle.
No, there's 2 O's. Believe me. I double
I
checked.
encourage everyone to go to the forums, if for no other reason than to check out the user icon for Poopsicle Boy.
Yeah, it's like a half gallon of milk dancing around.
Nate, you gotta come. We gotta have a shot of this. This is
I just
Poopsicle
wanna
Boy.
see
Not
Poopsicle
only are
Boy.
you a winner, but wow,
Yeah.
He's a winner for multiple reasons.
you have won.
Winner number 2 is KMG 9000.
KMG 9000, KMG
Wow.
9K.
KMG 9K. So yeah, we'll be contacting you guys, wanting your personal address to send you
Spam
the spoils.
and spoils.
Aside from that, so yeah, awesome giveaway. Now, it's not here, but we have another Xbox 360 to give away,
We do.
and here's how we're gonna do this. You have
Well, first
1
off,
month. The contest is gonna run for 1 month. First off, what?
as you saw at the beginning of the show, we are being sponsored by GoDaddy.com, which has, to begin with, really cheap domain registration.
They do. Here's how the contest is going to work. Register a domain name using one of our coupon codes. Step 2, use that domain name to create a fan site for the Bleeding Edge video show. So basically, we want to get the word out to as many people as possible about the show, and you're going to help us by telling people how much you like it by registering a domain name. You can use coupon code GEAR1, GEAR and the number 1, to save 10% on your order. Or if you're feeling outlandish and you want to buy some extra products from GoDaddy, you can get $5 off a purchase of $30 or more by using coupon code GEAR2. And lastly, you can get .com domain names for $6.95 if you use coupon code GEAR3. So, use one of those codes, register a domain name, register multiple domain names if you want, and set up a Bleeding Edge fan site. Let people know, what you like about the show, what you like about Sparky.
Put a counter for how many times I say indeed.
Because he says it all the time. And it gets
Indeed.
annoying. Anyway, we're going to have 10 winners here. Not 10 Xbox 360s, but
But one person, for their $5.95 contribution,
Yeah,
will
exactly.
get an Xbox 360. Walk away with it, play it.
exactly.
You're a winner.
Other prizes will be determined, but they will all be cool. But again, that starts now. So go ahead and register your domain name. Let us know when you do this. So drop us an email at bleedingedge@gearlive.com and let us know about your submission. And we'll probably feature some of them throughout the next 4 weeks on the show.
We'll be featuring them on the show. We'll link to a few of them from Gear Live.
Yes. And someone will walk away with an Xbox 360. I guarantee it.
That's a pretty exciting prize.
Yes. So yeah, we'll keep you updated again on the website, gearlive.com, here on the Bleeding Edge. And that's pretty much it for that contest.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh. Lastly, next week you can expect us to add someone to our team. Jake Ludington from the Chris Perillo Show, and from MediaBlab.com or JakeLudington.com. He's the guy. He basically comes up with interesting ways to handle digital media. This guy's a genius.
Some of his stuff is really cool.
Yeah. And so, most recently, you've probably seen his hack for getting DivX to run on the Xbox 360. It's kind of been circulating the internet over the past few days. So, Jake Ludington will be joining us, which I look forward to. One less person to say indeed.
Indeed.
And lastly, please remember to fill out our viewer survey. We'll put the link here at the bottom and also in the show notes. It lets us know who's watching, lets the advertisers know who's watching, and helps us out immensely. And Podcast Alley.
Podcast Alley. Vote for us. Vote for us every day.
Not possible, I don't think.
Vote for us once. Vote for us every day. Try both.
You can't vote monthly, so vote for us on a every 30-day scale. Put it in your calendar. And that's pretty much it for us from this week. Almost said it. Tune in next week as we bring you more tech news through the ads at GearLive.com. I am Andrew Edwards.
And I'm Sparky.
We'll see you next week.
Indeed.
Gear Live's Bleeding Edge is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. If you want to make an impact online, GoDaddy has what you need. .com names as low as $1.99, website builders, blogs, email, and more. Plus, enter code GEAR1, that's GEAR and the number 1 during checkout and save an additional 10% on any order. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com.